E3 announcement season has finally ended. In my opinion, this wasn't the best E3 I've seen, however, that's not to say there weren't some amazing games announced. Before I start, I'm not going to do the whole YouTuber cliche of, these are my opinions, so please don't hurt me, because I'm not a fucking pussy. Although, these are my opinions, so please don't hurt me, I'm sorry if you don't agree. Anyway, there are so many games at this year's E3, so if your favourite doesn't make the list, leave a comment just to tell me what your top 10 are, or just your number one favourite. I'd love to hear all of your responses. Also, really quick, I'm actually super ill while recording this, so if I sound disgusting, please cut me some slack, please. Regardless, without further ado, let's go! Number 10, State of Decay 2. What can I say about this game? No, seriously, I have zero idea what to say about this game. When I started this list, this game actually made it to the number 8 spot. However, when I was trying to write about it, I couldn't think of anything, so I pushed it up to number 9. And after some thought, I felt what is currently in the number 9 spot fitted better than State of Decay 2, so I pushed it all the way up to the top of the list. Don't get me wrong, this game looks great. After looking at the trailer, it seems the survival mechanics have been fleshed out even more than the first game. It looks like we're going to have some good storytelling with some branching paths. For example, the whole do we shoot or do we cure her situation from the trailer. However, that's all I can really say. It will be a good game. Again, that's not a bad title to have, but with how oversaturated the zombie game market is already, State of Decay 2 is going to have to show me something mind-blowing to break away from the crowd and pique my interest any further. I just hope that development goes well and no problems erect before release. Number 9. When I saw this trailer for the first time, I had no idea what I was looking at. I'd never played a Metro game before, nor have I known anything about the series apart from that it exists. And you know what? I'm glad. I'm extremely glad. I'm glad because I have no idea if the other games in the series are good or bad. I don't know the tone of the game apart from what I've seen in the trailer, and I don't have any bias towards the series. However, this also adds to the reason why it's so high on the list. Since I know nothing about the game, it holds me back from being overly hyped about it, as I have no idea about anything in the series. Are the games linked? Is there a backstory I should know about? Etc. It's not like a new IP where nobody knows anything, so there's the mystery of the unknown. It's more like when there's a TV show that everyone's talking about and you haven't checked out yet. You think it looks interesting, but you just look it up and there's so many episodes, so you're just like, nah. Did that make any sense? Probably not. Anyway, on to number 8. Oh look, a Japanese waifu kawaii desune game. I say that because if anyone knows anything about me, it's probably no surprise that this game made the list due to its art style alone, because apparently I'm a huge weeb. I've no idea where they're getting that notion from, but I digress. Anyway, about the game. Code Vein overall looks good, like really good. The graphics accompanied by the anime art style look extremely good and clean. I was especially hyped when I saw the main character, as he looked like a byproduct of a fusion between Kaneki Ken from Tokyo Ghoul and Alex Mercer from Prototype. And obviously there were other aspects of the game that excited me, but that goes without question. My main worry for this game is that it looks too much like an anime Dark Souls. A lot of you are probably wondering why that's a problem for me, but I've just never been into the whole 2 hits and you're dead combat system that portrays. I guess to me it just seems like a way to create artificial tension and difficulty. But regardless, for these reasons, this is why it takes my number 8 spot on the list. Number 7. Beyond Good and Evil 2. Good lord am I excited to play this game. As someone who has never played the first game in the series, because at the time of release I was only 3 years old, seeing this trailer makes me want to go back and play through the entire game so I can see what I've missed. In my opinion, this game completely saved Ubisoft's E3 presentation from being an absolute sleep fest. And no, it's not just because the main character is a bad-mouthed British monkey. What I'm annoyed about is that I really wanted to put this game lower on the list, like way lower, top 3 even. However, I couldn't bring myself to do it, as when you really look back on the trailer, we haven't seen the game at all. Literally none of it. Yeah, we saw a great cinematic, but we saw no gameplay. And when it comes down to it, it's not about who can make the best movie, it's about who can produce the best game. Don't get me wrong, my hopes are sky high for this project, but until I get some real gameplay, I'll still be very skeptical about how good this game really will be. Number 6. Yes, another anime style game. Trust me, this isn't the last one on the list, so strap in tight. When this game was first announced, I was unbelievably hyped. This is partly due to the fact of how much I enjoyed Hyrule Warriors. It may be an unpopular opinion, but I loved Hyrule Warriors. I loved everything about the game, from the combat to seeing all the different Zelda characters come together. However, as much as I love The Legend of Zelda, Fire Emblem will always beat it as one of my top Nintendo franchises of all time. What gets me excited about this is that I can finally see all of the Fire Emblem battles fought out exactly how I imagined them to be, instead of seeing the real-time strategy gameplay we've all come to know. This game includes mechanics from the Warriors franchise, but also includes the level up system, weapons triangle, and character bonding, all staples from the Fire Emblem franchise. Another aspect of this game that I can't wait for is that I'll finally get to see all of my beloved Fire Emblem characters in HD. This is the first time the characters have looked this good and detailed, so I can't wait to get my hands on the game and try them all out. And in the words of Edeka, show me Ike,
and I will pull my dick out right now to show the world. I will pull it out.
Number 5. We're hitting top 5 territory now, so what better way to kick it off than with the sequel to supposedly one of the best indie games of all time, Ori and the Will of the Wisp. Okay, I'm going to take a full-on hit to the manliness section when I say this, but it must be said. I've watched this trailer 3 times. Each time I've watched it, it has made me tear up. I genuinely don't think a trailer has ever done that to me before, and it's extremely rare for even a game to do that. I think the only 2 times that's ever happened to me is from Halo 4's ending and from Life is Strange. I'm extremely excited for this game, and with the recent announcement that Ori will be a fighter in Rivals of Aether, it just makes me even more hyped for this game's release. However, this is an opinion and bias-based list. Due to the personal bias and stupidity that I haven't played Ori and the Blind Forest yet, I had to give this the number 5 spot. However, I think once I've played through Ori and the Blind Forest, this could easily be within my top 3, maybe even number 1. And don't worry, I've already decided once I finish making this video, I'm going to be picking up Ori and the Blind Forest so I can catch the feels firsthand. Number 4! Remember when I said about personal bias? Here it is firsthand. I find this entry quite ironic, to be honest, as when the leaked images first came out, I was speaking to Baron about it and I told him that it looked bad. I really didn't like it, but the second I saw this trailer, I jumped out of my freaking seat. Unlike Xenoverse, this seems to have a genuinely complex combat system and combo system. I love the fact that it includes mid-game transformations with actual transformation cutscenes. I think this is a nice touch that has really been missing from the newer Dragon Ball games. Fighter Z is being developed by BlazBlue developer Arc System Works, which makes me even more excited, as the combat system in those games is very complex, which gives me even more hope for Fighter Z. This is the first time in a long time that the whole fighting game community is looking forward to an anime fighting game. Usually they're frowned upon as being watered down and to have weak fighting mechanics, but this seems to be universally looked upon with pure hype, so I cannot wait to see what the future holds for it, and who knows, maybe it'll even become tournament worthy. Number 3. You should have seen my face when this trailer dropped. Actually, you probably shouldn't. It was probably very, very ugly. Enough about my face, into this amazing game. Kingdom Hearts 3 looks to be an extremely beautiful game with amazing graphics, which is to be expected seeing as 1, it's made by Square Enix and all of their games look incredible by default, and it bloody better seeing as we've waited so long for news about this game, and since Kingdom Hearts 2 came out 12 years ago in 2005, it's crazy for me to think that when I played Kingdom Hearts 2 I was 5 years old, and when I played Kingdom Hearts 3 I'll be 17 or 18. Moving on, the combat system seems to be extremely fleshed out and fast paced with beautiful particle effects to match. Honestly, I don't know how to properly do this game justice, so just go and watch the freaking trailer if you haven't already. It speaks for itself. Also, goofy looking swole as fuck. Number 2, Anthem. How could this not make the top 3? Honestly, for a little while this game was number 1 on my list. As a lifetime Halo fan, all games in this type of genre are super appealing to me by default. I remember when I first got Destiny when it released back on the Xbox 360. I was super excited for that game, but as much as I liked it, overall, I was let down. However, Anthem is exactly what I wanted from Destiny and more. It's like if Destiny and Warframe had a baby that made some open world game with some of, if not the greatest graphics I've honestly ever seen in my life. When I was watching this trailer the first time, I was absolutely blown away by the visual effects, especially in the underwater section that was briefly shown off, and most of all the amount of detail shown off in this guy's face. It's almost uncanny how much his face looks exactly like a human's, with shifting facial expressions, eyebrow movements, etc. I quite honestly was dumbfounded by this game, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for it. Just please don't mess this up, EA. Number 1! Remember when I said about those games that tear me up? Well, here's the prequel to one of those games. Life is Strange Beyond the Storm seems to be exactly what I was asking for in terms of a new installment in the Liz franchise. This game looks to be an ultimate feels train just like last time. And to be honest, I'm more than okay with that. The first Life is Strange game genuinely changed me as a person, and I don't think there's a lot of things in this world that I could say that about. For a lot of reasons too deep for this top 10, I made a huge connection with the character Chloe Price. So to see a full game based around her backstory gets me so excited to learn more about one of my all-time favourite characters. We'll get to see Chloe deal first hand with not only the loss of her father, but also the unavoidable fate that holds Rachel, and the downward spiral that leads Chloe into the character we know from the first game. I know there are many people out there that are going to be worried about this game due to the lack of time travel powers that were present in the first game. But to quote Chris Floyd, the co-game director for Life is Strange Before the Storm, he said, "We don't have time travel. We didn't think that it was appropriate to the story or the character really. The time travel was really an embodiment of Max's character. Chloe isn't like that. Chloe is a wrecking ball that just bashes through the things that are in front of her and creates consequences and damage as she goes, and she can't take that back." There are many people out there that deny the fact that gaming is an art form. However, that's exactly what the first Life is Strange was. Art. So I am ecstatic to return to Arcadia Bay, where this game releases in August, and finally see what Chloe's backstory has to offer. And there we have it. That's my list of the top 10 announcements from this year's E3. Didn't agree? Probably not, because this is the internet and my opinions don't matter. But I'd love to hear yours, so let me know in the comments below what your top 10 was. And with that, I've been KDP, and I'll see you next time.
I come from a town where most of the people are so close-minded. They go into school and they work in a job, but they don't even like it. I won't be put in a box. Nobody telling me what I should rock. Nobody telling me what I should drop. Cause I do what I want and just know I don't stop. Recording till 4 in the morning, they snoring. I'm pouring my soul into every story. I'm writing, producing, I mix it, I master. I'm building my craft and I'm not looking back. I've been going doing